So we have stocks ripping. It's now week 9 of new all-time highs. So stocks have new all-time highs for the ninth week in a row. I mean, 9 green weeks in a row, which is very impressive. So highs 10, Ayuba, 80, Catalin, Guy, welcome. How are you guys doing? It's evening here. Sun is going away, so I thought let's do a quick stream before the sun goes down. Just chat a little bit about the markets, see how they are doing within the sectors. Look a little bit at crypto. We have some altcoins doing really well, but Bitcoin lagging. So what does that mean? Hi, Sanjeev. Sorry if I said that wrong, but welcome in the chat. And we are, basically going to talk a little bit about markets, where I think this might be heading. Had an important presentation today. Let me show you. So I've basically been building this application called Trading Text, which is connected with your eToro account, and it will calculate your tax, capital gain tax, or any tax basically from your country. And right now I have Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and eToro was very interested. I think they might build this on their own. Um, but I've started it already, where it's connected with your broker account, because tax is very different in each country and also so important. Later on, I want to, yeah, be able to connect it with other brokers, so it's all in one application together. Because I know not a lot of people use one broker, they use different brokers. So yeah, I had a little presentation on that with eToro today. It went well. I have a diamond event next week. I'm hoping to present this to all the people on the event. It's gonna be a gala event, so uh, all in suits, as they say, but it's gonna be awesome. When they do events, it's really nice. So I'm really looking forward to present this next week. But yeah, stocks, as I said, going higher for 8 weeks in a row. Now we're seeing S&P a little bit red. That's okay. I mean, after such a rally, I think most of us were already expecting a correction or a pullback at week 3, but this just went on and on, mainly, I think, because of semiconductors. Let me know, like, by the way, where you are from, and maybe I can see if I can build such a tax application for any of you. Oh, you're already asking for UK, right? So I checked for UK, and it seemed very complex when I asked people from UK. So the goal is indeed to add UK to the tax application, but I'm doing it one by one. Want to have one country completed before I move to the next one. So UK is definitely something I want to add in the future, of course. Roberto, another fellow popular investor, check out his Substack, check out his eToro portfolio. He's doing really good on eToro as well. Glad you're here. Marcelo, hi. So looking, whoa, S&P is green again for the week. Awesome. So looking at the sectors, so what are we seeing today? We have technology doing really good, new all-time highs again for tech stocks. I think this is mainly driven by the semiconductors within the technology So the semiconductors here, yeah, ripping new all-time highs. I personally invest in Nvidia, but Nvidia not doing so much lately. So I remember 2 weeks ago we had a stream and Nvidia was trading below this green box, so somewhere around below 200 basically. Then we said it's a buying opportunity below 200, and we did see a nice rally into earnings. And now the rally is steaming off. Um, but the quant told us it's going to be higher by June, and so far we are higher. So this went really well. I did saw like another quant saying Nvidia never had four down price reactions after earnings in a row. We had three, and this time is the fourth, so it's gonna be the fourth time and breaking that quant probability for the first time. So we are seeing negative price action after earnings. So those things are can happen, and those are like probabilities we have to take into account. Maybe it means Nvidia needs some more consolidation, but I do believe it's the leader of the semiconductor space, and as the price will drop, I will continue buying. So when it hits, for example, 200 again, I will be buying. Or if it drops to a lower level, 170, I will be buying. So yeah, definitely interested in adding to my Nvidia position. Semiconductors, really nice. We have Micron, of course, ripping higher. Put a one in the chat if you hold Micron, so I know if there's any Micron fanboys here. Um, Daily investing note. Thanks for joining. I'm sure someone must hold Micron, but yeah. Let's see how AMD is doing. It was doing really good lately. Yeah, AMD. So these stocks are doing really good, going parabolic. It's hard to say how far they will continue to rally. So I wouldn't buy like in in here when it's at all-time highs, but when you have these pullbacks, those are like levels you wanna add. If you wanna play it safe, SMH, you add on the pullbacks. Um, to increase your allocation. Just be careful knowing that, yeah, semiconductors, they are cyclical. So this will turn one way or another. Is it going to be because of bad returns or less than expected returns? That's a possibility because we are seeing high growth, and this is a catalyst of the price action, but we know it's not gonna last forever. And once it's shown in the financial reports, um, the market is gonna try to look forward for the next months, and is gonna see like we're not gonna see much growth next in the months, and then uh, we will see a reversal. So, I mean, there's never a parabolic move that is going to continue higher. So you have to know, yes, this can go higher. So you can trade it, you can buy dips and then sell rips. You can be a seller right now and then buy when it drops again. But we just saw the same thing happening with silver. Nobody's talking about silver anymore. And I remember I was buying and selling along the way, and I eventually sold my silver position, also my gold position. just because after such a parabolic move, it's gonna need a break, and that's what we have been seeing for silver since the beginning of the year. I do think like this is gonna move higher again in the future. It's just those moves can take 6 months to 1 year to consolidate before anything meaningful happens. So, just like with Bitcoin, it's taking a lot of time for Bitcoin to regain some strength after the bull market we saw. Basically, went from December 2022 at 17K to 126K. That's pretty impressive and around 600% up. So after 3 years up, you should expect at least 6 to 1 year price action down. And right now we are we are how many months in the cycle? Let me check. Here it is. So this is the cycle view for Bitcoin, the 4 year cycle view. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. So if you wanna have 1 year of bear market, that gives you around the October time frame to buy in again on Bitcoin. Am I waiting until October? No. We don't know if this was the bottom or it's gonna be lower. We might see even a drop sideways move until the end of the year. That's not how a classic 4 year cycle would end, but I do understand the institutional money flowing into Bitcoin is significant, and this could cause a sideways price action. So pain in time instead of pain in price. And that's why I am slowly accumulating Bitcoin as the price is going lower. So I mentioned this already in my blog posts. I'm looking at several levels. So I bought a little bit at 75K. If it drops lower to 72, I will buy more. If it has another drop lower to 65, I will buy, and then probably buy more if it drops to $55,000. Can it drop lower? I mean, anything is possible. Um, you just have to make sure you are prepared and have cash ready to buy. I will add money to my portfolio if Bitcoin drops. So if I drop 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, that's around 8% extra. I can buy another 2% if it drops to 40K. The point is to average or DCA into Bitcoin because we don't know where it's actually going to um, the to bottom. But let's say Bitcoin does nothing for the next couple of months, stays flat, and we are entering that October time frame. Yeah, then I would say let's buy some more, knowing that this is the time frame where things can turn based on previous cycles, and that's where I would buy, let's say, for sure my allocation that I want for the next bull market. Right now, it's sitting at around 8%, if I'm not mistaken. So, still a lot of room, knowing that I usually have 15 to around 20% allocation into crypto um, as we enter the bull market. So yeah, my view on Bitcoin, we have hype doing really well. So if you're trading hype, and I have been mentioning it to Panic Drop subscribers on the newsletter. So trading level per level, you could have traded from each level and taken profit at resistance, get in again after a breakout. Now what we're seeing was a breakout above the all-time highs, and we are seeing a test of support. So if you're bullish on hype, you could have taken a new trade here and go long. So most people ask like how high can this go? Um, that's like a very subjective and difficult question to answer. You can use the Fibonacci levels to see where the measured move is gonna be. Um, you can use round numbers. So, for example, round numbers could be either 70, 80, 90 to take profits. Or if you're like really bullish long term, 100 is probably a magnet in a bull market where you can take profits. I just know hype is one of those coins that gives nasty, nasty shakeouts. So you might have thought here was the bottom, and then it went lower, came all the way up, testing that level again, and boom, dropped even lower for the next couple of weeks. So holding this altcoin is gonna give you some anxiety because it's super volatile. It's only since 2024 that it's existing. So yeah, very volatile, but it's a strong coin. TRX, one of the other coins that I've been mentioning a lot, was also moving higher in a straight line, basically. Now, is this all-time highs? I think local high, because if we look at all-time highs, it was around 45 cents. But it's moving in the right direction. So breaking this local high, very, very bullish. And yeah, I could go on altcoins. I do have a list that I follow each week to check on opportunities. And yeah, Hype and TRX are on the main list, of course. So let me see if you guys have any um, remarks, questions. Hi, Sally, Bruce, Madam Finance. Thanks for joining. Let me see what I got for you guys in the chat. I also mentioned software are really starting to form a bottom. So the software stocks, what is it? IGF. Yes. IGF is the software ETF showing some life here. So hoping for this sweep of the swing low by software stocks, and now the reverse. Of course, ideally on the monthly, of course, we want to have a bullish candle. This is basically a neutral candle. Would be bullish if we had a candle like this. So the setup isn't as bullish as I would hope so. My plan is to be allocated in software, knowing that software is needed for AI. It's not gonna be replaced. And even if we go lower for software stocks, I am going to add to my favorite software stocks. My favorite software stocks are, let me see if I have the list. Software stocks. Yes. Microsoft, of course, is the one I've been adding gradually. I want to add more Palantir. I think Palantir is um, one of those stocks that could reach Max 7 status in the future. And it's not the first time that I said this. I already said this during the bear market in 2022. That's when I went heavy on Palantir, buying below $10. Um, it had a parabolic move. And if we measure now, it's around 6 months. So it's time to start accumulating Palantir, in my opinion, as a software stock. Also, a AI stock. That's why I think this one is gonna be a big mover. I think I only have around, after selling, I had around 3 to 4% allocation. Now I sold some, have around 1.5% allocation. I want to increase that in at least 2.5. If it can drop like really low, I will increase it to 5% allocation. ServiceNow, I noticed ServiceNow is getting a lot of attention on X. So I think this could be the retail stock in the future. So I'm definitely planning on adding more if it drops lower. And then some smaller players like CRM, which I own. S&P Global is one of my favorites. This one, cybersecurity stock, Palo Alto, I wouldn't buy it here. I was buying it all the way down here. Now, well in profits. I posted about cybersecurity a lot when it was down here. Fortinet doing really well. After such a move, I'm not gonna be a buyer. So yeah, this was a nice portfolio move for me. Let me see on the sectors again. So one sector that I've been adding slowly into are healthcare stocks and the healthcare sector. It has shown a reversal sign. I even tweeted about it today. Mm, Let me go to my profile. So this one, where you are basically seeing a change in volume. We have institutions buying more than selling, and usually that happens when a bottom is forming. It's been going down for 3 straight weeks, healthcare. So I do think there will come a time where it picks up again. It's defense. It's a defense sector. So when defense is going down, tech is going up. And when tech is going down, you will see defense going up. So in defense, you have healthcare, but you also have consumer staples, which I'm buying also heavily, especially um, PepsiCo. So not doing too good this month because we have semiconductors doing all the work. But I do think we're still in a midterm year, so we could see some volatility starting June and the summer. So that's where, yeah, I think defense stocks could do a little bit of work. And this is going to be a, yeah, short term play. Why? Let me see if I can get the chart here. Defense, defense, staples. Yeah. In this video, I basically explained how during a midterm year you will see. Um, so I'm not sure if you can see this, but this chart shows you the index of defense stocks, and this line is basically how the um how the defense stocks move in a midterm year. Starting quarter two, they go up until quarter three, and then you will see tech picking up again. So it would be a 6 month play um, to be in defense stocks. So let's see how this plays out. Hugh Cook, thanks for joining. I was talking about the sectors. So we have, of course, energy doing the opposite of what the S&P is doing due to the war. And yeah, we're seeing a lot of flip flop going on between Trump and Iran about really is going, what really is happening. We don't know. Each is telling their own truth. The thing is, the Strait of Hormuz is closed basically, and we have markets at all-time high. So I think if markets are going to correct, and even if we get some kind of resolution and the war is ending, that's already priced in. I feel like, not sure how you guys feel about this, but it does feel like the market is already pricing in this war ending. What I'm more concerned about is inflation. So we had a really bad inflation print, um, which I think is only going to get higher the next coming months, and this will pressure stocks, but will pressure stocks in the short term because earnings are still growing. Fundamentals are still doing good for stocks. That means for me personally, that will be a buying opportunity. I'm not sure if I did got this chart from Blue Curtic, where it's basically showing you the Fed share starting out and how inflation is moving after 1 year when they start. And most of the times it's lower. So, yeah, hopefully wars can lower inflation instead of um, higher. And if inflation is going down, that's positive for stocks. Um, is there another important one that I want to share? This earnings of Nvidia. This one, not sure if I shared this one already, but the stocks right now are as expensive or even cheaper as they were in the beginning of the year. So this chart puts this in perspective. You have tech stocks basically 20% higher right now compared to the beginning of the year. But if you look at their PE ratio, they are cheaper than the beginning of the year. And that's because earnings have been rising so strongly. So, if you see a correction in stocks, and especially tech stocks, that would be an opportunity. And I'm not only talking about semiconductors, but I'm also talking about software. They had super earnings. Microsoft have had very good earnings. So those are like solid long term plays in my opinion. So that's everything I can share. So we have um, the streaks of the market, where the market is now already 8 weeks green in a row, and that's usually even bullish for the market 3 months later. And we also know when we have such a strong um, rally in the market, it's very rare to see corrections over 10%. So that means if we get a correction of, let's say, 10%, it's very rare that the market is gonna drop even lower. So if you're buying at let's say if you see the market trading below 6,750, then you know for sure, or it's very likely, it's a high probability the market will be higher um, the next months later. Just because that's the data, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but it's a high probability. So, guys, if you have no questions for me, that's all that I wanted to share. It's getting dark outside, so I'm gonna slowly close this live stream. Thanks everyone for watching. Leave a like if you see uh, my post on uh, the feed, and hopefully we'll see you next week or 2 weeks after, and we can catch up. Thanks everyone for watching. Peace.